Shalom. All praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Achakodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well. And peace, mercy to the hopeful elect, the 144,000 men that are doing this work in sincerity and in truth across the four corners of the earth. And much love to the 1/3 and the innumerable multitude of you believers out there. To you all, I say shalom. And I pray, Lord willing, that this lesson is edifying through the Spirit. I'm the brother Yeshaya from the Great Millstone West Palm Beach Church. And I was just meditating on something. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to title this, but maybe something along the lines of basically when the things in this life are no longer important, or when your car, your job, and relationships don't matter anymore. What's next? Something along those lines. Is because at this point, man, what keeps us motivated is obviously the spirit of Yahweh Shemel Shai. And, we always, our eyes focused on going home. Our eyes focused on Yahweh Shai. Our eyes focused on the kingdom of heaven. But, man, it's like, and I always think about the apostles, man, as a motivation, because it's like, however level that you think you fed up, theirs is 10 times more. You know what I'm saying? So I always consider that like the portion that the Lord put upon them. So it's like, if you see them trucking on, hey man, we got to do the same, But you really get to the point where you're grounded, where you like, man, we. I think I was talking to Elder Gabar Howard about this. And basically it's like, man, you don't even ask how long really anymore. You more so like, man, we are just long for the ride. You know what I mean? Like how, like the commercials or the movies and shit, they be like, oh, they have the little child in the back seat. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? That's kind of how you were, like, some of your younger days. You're like, man, of course we hasten in the day and we want Yahweh to come. But at this point, it's like, man, however long it takes, we just along for the ride. I tell brothers in righteousness, I say, hey, brothers, we have to work as every day as if the Lord is coming back, and pray that he's coming back sooner. But we almost have to live our lives, if you can receive it, as if it's delayed. And I'm saying that in righteousness, meaning that, you can't just stop your life just because we know about prophecy, meaning that if you want to get, a different job to help with your resources and finances, there's nothing wrong with that. If your living situation is a little frustrating, there's nothing wrong with getting a different place. But, you get to the point, it's like, man, all of this shit just don't matter, man. It just don't matter. Like, we doing it because we know we gotta do it, right? But it's like, man, you start to realize, man, you hate your job, you hate your and I just thought of a scripture. It's always something wrong with your fucking car. Even if you got a decent car, it's always even if you got a nice fucking car, you're gonna have problems. Like, I just looked at my tire. My tire got like fucking like rips in it. I guess that's the best way to explain it. So I'm like, damn, I got to get another fucking tire. It's always, and I'm thankful to Yahweh Shem Yahshua, because based on how that bitch look, I'm like, man, that's the Lord and the angel keeping that bitch together, because I didn't even realize it till just now. I just left the gas station, but the Lord be looking out for us, man. But your car don't matter, shit, women don't be mattering, you know what I'm saying? Like, we live this life, but man, it's like a lot of things we just don't care about no more. All that matters to us is Yahweh Shemel Shai doing his work, being with the brothers, man. Everything else, like coming back from Passover, everything is like, me and Gabar were saying, like, we're more in tune with the spirit, but we hate this world that much more. Leaving, like, Passover is always like our little portal to be away from this world, because we always get like a little Airbnb and, be together for a few days doing lessons and things like that. But I'm going to get this scripture because I know I've been talking a bit. This is Haggai 1. I'm going to start at 5. It says, now therefore thus said the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai of hosts, consider your ways. Ye have sown much and bring in little. Ye eat, but ye have not enough. Ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink. Ye clothe you, but there is none warm. And he that earneth wages to put bag into a bag with holes. So it's like everything you do, it just don't mount up to nothing, man. You know, it's like shit. You don't even be wanting to eat, man. You know. I'm like, I was thinking about getting some wings, and I'm like, man, I don't even fucking want them. And then you start thinking about the different places that you might want to go. All of them, you think of something through with all of them. Some of them give you fucking breaded wings. You don't want the bread on it. Then you know you're going to have to pay out the wazoo for them. Then they making it in goddamn seed oils. So it's like even things like that is frustrating just to make a decision on what to eat. Ain't nobody cooking for you. All the women here are bugged out. I know brothers be excited for, women in the kingdom, but I don't even be thinking about that shit, man. That's gonna come when it comes, man. That's because I ain't thinking about all the wives in the kingdom and the concubines. Man, fuck that shit. Call out about shit, but my mind is not focused on that, man. We first and foremost, we trying to get up out of here, and we know that these women don't be treating men right. It be all off. It's problems with all of that, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's like all we care about is escaping. All we care about is freedom. All we care about is salvation now, man. You know what I'm saying? It says you bring in little. You have sown much and bring in little. Like, so the analogy I can paint best for that is like a man who has a farmland, right? And he's going out, he's buying extra seeds. He's tilling the ground. He's putting in all his work. He's sweating. He's out there from the sun up to the sundown, putting in his work. But then out of all that, you see, you did all that work day in and day out, and you see one fucking tomato grow. You know what I mean? You're like, damn, like all of this work, I planted 2,000 seeds, but bring in little. You got one tomato, or one tomato branch to be able to feed you and your family, right? It says, but you eat, but you have not enough. Right? Our food, like I was just saying, the food, it ain't most time it ain't satisfying. You eat, but it's just not enough. The food is defiled. It got GMOs in it. Either you wasting your money and it don't taste good. If it do taste good, you spent too much money, or it got problems with it. Everything got sugar and carbs on it. They say you drink, but you are not filled with drink. Shit, you drink water. They say now we got to put goddamn electrolytes or salt or baking soda in all our water to be hydrated. That we drink, you have a little yayan or some drink, and you just like, you drink it, of course, to help you, calm you down and give you a little merriness. But it's like, man, even that be vexing. You clothe you, but there is none warm. Shit, you'll buy jackets and shit, you literally not warm. And he that earn his wages to put bag into a bag with holes, man. So it's like, as soon as you get your money, first thing you're doing is you paying bills. All your money is gone, man. Damn near the same day, it's a couple days after you got the check, money's gone. Esau has us in a prison-like system when it comes to our finances, man. I was talking to a guy who lives in Europe, and he said, man, he was like, I was booking something for him on a weekend. He was like, damn, y'all working on the weekends? And I was like, yeah. He was like, yeah, I'm from Europe, man. We're not used to that. I was like, yeah, it's good for the customer, but bad for the employee. He was like, yeah, man. But he was like, I was like, welcome to America. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's through. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the other countries, that's what I was telling other brothers, other countries, they don't be working 40 hours a fucking week, 40 plus hours a week, overtime and shit like that. They out there, they living so that they can have working so they can just get by and have a decent living. People in America, this is a slave society, man. All right? So what's left in this place really for you, man? You hate your job. You hate your car. Your family's getting fed up with your family, right? You, doing things ain't the same no more. Ain't nowhere to go, ain't nothing to do. Experiences are lacking, substance. Shit, even the women, it's just too much energy to put them. They either want too much or they're trying to take from you. They only want you to provide. They only want you to look after their children. They only want to take from you. You know? Shit, you even deal with a harlot, you always dissatisfied after. Feel like you waste your money, no matter how much it costs. The more you spend on, the more upset you are about it. You know? This is how you know that this place is through. This place is wicked. And this is why we need Yahweh Shai to come to change the earth, so we can actually rejoice in the things that we get, man. So we can actually rejoice in the things that are written in this Bible, man. Right? This is 1 Corinthians 2:9, but it says, but as it is written, eye hath not seen, nor ear heard, neither have entered into the heart of man the things which the Most High Yahweh B'Shem Shai hath prepared for them that love him. You see, so, man, what the stuff we see out here is nothing, man. You know, I just saw a dude, you know, there's dudes out here, like, I'm seeing nice Corvettes and Ferraris all day. I'm like, yeah, there's some nice whips, you know what I'm saying? But I'm like, man, them shit's nice, but then man, the niggas doesn't sell out in this world, and Esau, fuck all of that, man. We talking about having chariots, you know, where cars like that aren't even giving you satisfaction. You know, is it nice to have them and drive them? Sure. You know, we ain't no fools now. But at the end of the day, you realize what's true value, man. What's true glory, right? Being back with our Lord, man. Right? Being with Yahweh Shai, that's what we want more than anything, man. You know, that's where our mindset is. Being with our brothers, rejoicing, praising the Most High. You know. So he got so much set up for us that you can't even fathom it. You can't even try to think in your wildest dreams. You know. This is 1 Corinthians 7:31. It says, and they that use this world as not abusing it, for the fashion of this world passeth away, man. This world is going away, man. You know, I just read another thing about Donald Trump coming after the Cubans now. You know, trying to deport 530,000, you know, of the tribes. You know, and he's, you know, President Musk is behind this too. They're trying to, because look, if you get rid of, what do they call a lot of the other tribes, like the so-called Mexicans, so-called Cubans, so-called Haitians, a lot of them coming from other countries, they're cheap labor force. So they need to get rid of a lot of them so that I believe so they can bring in these robots. That's why they're getting rid of all the federal agencies. They're deporting all these people because they need to make room to where you can't just hire a Mexican, Issacharite, to do something for the low for you. You gotta have these robots, you know. But all of this is vanity. Oh, and that's the scripture that I want to get. All right. This is Ecclesiastes 2:17. It says, therefore I hated life, because the work that is wrought under the sun is grievous unto me. For all is vanity and vexation of spirit. You see? So he says, I hated life, man. This is King Solomon. All right? This is Yahweh Shai. Salakia. Right? Therefore I hated life, because the work that is wrought under the sun is grievous unto me. Is grievous unto me. Right? All of this it can make you upset, man. It can bother you. It can frustrate you. But that's why we got the Holy Spirit to comfort us, because all of this shit pisses us off. You know, y'all should have seen some of the pictures we seen of the chemtrails the other day, man. You know, we can't even breathe right in this place. You know, it's this broad that I work with. She's cool as hell. You know, she got good vibes. I'll give her that. But you know, I'm like, even little shit, like she asked me about pork, and I told her, I gave her the breakdown, you know, let her know pork ain't good for you, all these reasons, brought down all these worldly ways and shit, you know, and I thought she had stopped. It was like maybe like 3 weeks, a month passed, you know. That's what the brother did the lesson on, stop coercing these women to be in the truth. Hey, and I've been like that for years, man. You can ask the brothers, be like, yeah, you know, when I meet a girl, I want her to know what I'm about. So this is why I tell her. I'll be like, man, fuck that shit. I don't say nothing to a broad about my beliefs until she really like fucking with me. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't say none of that, bro. You know, if she come around me and she eating swine or something, I fucking let her do her, bro. I'm not about to be sitting up, cause I know, man, they not for the truth, man. That's what, stop trying to coerce them and thinking that they're gonna become a sincere woman and gonna follow after you, man. That shit is far and few in between, man. These broads will do everything but believe in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Oh my God, it's crazy out here, man. You know. But anyway, you know. So, but next thing you know, she's eating, and I ain't trying to badmouth her because, like I said, she cool people. You know, but it's just for the point. You know, she's the past 2 days she's been eating pork. You know, I saw her yesterday with some damn griot. You know, that's Haitian pork. You know, and she's like, yeah, like, it's so good. I'm like, oh my God, that's disgusting, bro. And I looked at her like, oh my God. I was like, don't touch me. You know, and today she came back in today, you know, and she was like, I'm gonna quit. She was like, I'm gonna quit in the next month, I promise. But I don't believe that shit. She came in today with like goddamn bacon and cheese croissant or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, so these people in this world, you can't even have intellectual conversations. And that's what I said. If you can't talk to a broad about stop eating pork, there's no way you can let her know she's a Hebrew Israelite. There's no way that you can let her, hey, it says if I can't tell you earthly things, how can I tell you heavenly things? If I can't tell you that pork is bad for, we was even to my shrimp, I was like, yeah, you eat, that's roaches. If I can't tell you about that, how am I supposed to tell you that a UFO is going to save black people? You know what I'm saying? Like, so this world is so lost, man, and the fashion of this world passes away, man. All right? So we hate all of this stuff. It's all grievous, man. You know, traffic. From the time you wake up to the time you go to bed, it piss you off. You wake up in the morning, man, I gotta go to this fucking job. All right? You getting ready. Yeah, sometimes it be a wardrobe malfunction. Then you gotta rush. You gotta get in the fucking. You woke up early on time, so you don't gotta rush. Somehow you stand up late, leaving out the door where you gotta rush a little bit. Fucking traffic is hell. You know what I'm saying? Then you get to work, you gotta deal with all the assholes at your job for 8 hours. Deal with all these weird ass, rude ass people. You know. Then you gotta drive the traffic back home. You try to make something, make food for yourself. Everything's fucking vexing. And I'm ranting a little bit, but fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Because it is vexing, man. It's vanity. Everything is empty. There's no substance in this place. There's no quality of people. There's no love in this place, save brothers, the spirit, the truth, and the Bible, man. And the thing is, the people out here are miserable, but they refuse to admit it, and they refuse to come under a different vibration. But what's next, man? What's next for you then? What's after all of this when you realize that all of this shit is vain? You know, this is Isaiah 24:4. It says, the earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languisheth and fadeth away. The hardy people of the earth do languish. You see? So this it's all going away, man. Waiting till the missiles come. You know? And when they're going to realize it when the war is popping off and when they getting implanted chips into their hands. You know? Always when it's too late. This is Philippians 3:8. Yea, doubtless, and I count all things but loss for the excellency of the knowledge of Yahushua Mashiach, my Lord. You see? So we count it all loss, bro. Whatever you had to lose, hey, bro, it says, let me see, I'm going to keep reading. It says, for whom I have suffered the loss of all things, and do count them but dung, that I may win Hamashiach. You got to understand what Apostle Paul is saying here. He's saying, hey, man, for the excellency and the knowledge of Yahweh Shem Shah, to be in his truth, everything is shit. And nobody cares about that but a dung beetle. You know what I'm saying? You know? Bottom sea creatures and pigs, man. Right? But that's, everything is, count them as dung. Hey, man, if you had to give up a Ferrari for the truth, you know, it's like giving up shit, man. You know? Feces. If you had to give up a great job for the truth, if you had to give up, you were a great sports player, if you had to give up millions, hey, it's all counted as dung for the knowledge and the truth and the understanding for Yahweh Shai, man. All right? And we'll suffer those losses because we know he says that I may win Hamashiach. You know, we gonna win. We gonna get victory through Yahweh Shai, man. That's why we don't care about this world, man. And that's what the people don't realize about Hebrew Israelites. True Hebrew Israelites of great mill, and I'm saying true meaning the true believers. Starting with the apostles of Great Millstone on down. You know, they don't realize that we don't care about this world. You know? And 1 John 2:15 says, love not the world, neither the things that are of the world. Not the things that are in the world, man. You know, we don't love this world. But people don't realize that about us. Just because we live in it don't mean we love it, man. You know? This is a bad relationship here, man. This is a toxic relationship. You know, we suffering it so that we can win Yahweh Shai. Okay? America is set up for our people to fail, our people to die, our people to be buried, our people to be disrespected, our people to be slaves. That's what America is set up for you for, man. So your only thing that's going to save you from your situation, I don't care what your problem is. I don't care what you're going through. You know, we dealing with bodily ailments, right? You're dealing with relationship problems. You're dealing with fatherhood problems, motherhood problems, right? You're dealing with jobs and you're dealing with your supervisors and CEOs, car troubles, fucking body problems, food problems, air problems, water problems, money problems, problems everywhere, man. So how could you love this world? You know, I was talking to a guy today who's talking about inflation, and you can hear the fucking sorrow in his voice, man. You could hear it. I could hear it, man. I'm like, yeah, everything's going up, and it's only going to get worse. And you can hear the sorrow in his voice because he just can't afford it. So, Lord, man, Baba Kashad, just bring this place to his knees, man. All right? Let me see here. I'm going to get that 1 John. And then I pretty much like one more after that. And I'll wrap it up, man. You know, shit, I ain't got nobody else to talk to, so I'm going to talk to my brothers. Yeah, y'all hear me vent a little bit. Fuck this place. I say that boldly, proudly, and confidently. And call all y'all about Shem Shah. This is 1 John 2:15. It says, love not the world. I'm going to start at 14. For I have written unto you, fathers, because ye have known him that is from the beginning. I have written unto you, young men, because ye are strong, and the word of the Most High abideth in you, and ye have overcome the wicked one. You know, so through this word, man, we overcoming Esau. We overcoming the wiles of the devil. We overcoming the ways of this world, man. You know, through the Spirit. And casting down strongholds, realizing what's important and what's not. What's of value and what's not. We're disciplining ourselves. We're cutting back on things that aren't good for us. And brothers, that goes, whatever your life you feel like is not good for you, cut it off, man. All right? You know, it says if you have a problem with your eye, plug it out. You got a problem with your arm, cut it off. You know, so, hey, man, if it's certain foods you got to cut off to make your health better, cut that shit off, man. You know, if you got to cut off, and that's a metaphor, by the way, but if you got to cut off parts of you that you just know aren't good, you got to cut it off, man. You know, if you got social media, man, you know, like, I'm going to be real, so I don't got a whole lot of social media. I'm not a big social media person, but, you know, I got some, but I rarely get on them like that, honestly, and I barely interact, okay? But the ones that I do have, you know, I realize, man, I'm following all these goddamn women out here that don't mean shit, who I ain't never met, who I ain't gonna never see. So, man, I'm like, I start unfollowing their ass. Like, man, F all of them, bro. That broad of you, if she saw you on the street, she'll walk right past you and never bat bat your eye. Why am I watching her? Why am I giving them a follow? Why am I wasting my time and my energy? You know? Soon all the world gonna be subscribed to the men of the Lord. And I don't mean on YouTube. You know? May Yahweh Hashem Shah word fucking drown this earth, man. In truth. All right? But it says, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. So these people love this world, man. You know, I pulled up to the one of the food spots to get some wings, man. That bitch was packed the fuck out, man. And they in there it's basically like a Hooters. You know, there's so many cars in the parking lot. I'm like, these people act like this is a goddamn club, man. Even though I get it, they just getting some food and stuff in there. But these people love this world, man. You just see how they act, how they move. They love this world, man. But we hate it. That's how you know we in the right spirit. We hate this world, man. We hate, and we love the earth. We just hate the status of the rulership of Esau, Edom, the so-called white nation. If you're so-called blacks, if you're a so-called black, Hispanic, Native American, or Israelite foreigner, you're supposed to hate this world too. Shit, the heathen are too, the other nations. But hey, they don't, is because they still getting blessed with benefits, man. All right. So that they don't got the love of the Father in them. Even 2/3 of our people, they don't got the love of the Father in them. It says, for all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world. And the world passeth away in the lust thereof. But he that doeth the will of the Most High abideth forever. You see, so we're trying to abide forever. This world passing away, man. This place is going down brick by brick, city by city, right? And Yahweh Shem Shai gonna bring this place to a great fall, and we just can't wait. All we doing is we riding the wave, man. We riding the wave, baby, praising our Lord all. Get this last one, and then I'm gonna wrap it up. This is Matthew 19 and verse 27. It says, then answered Peter and said unto him, behold, we have forsaken all and followed thee. What shall we have therefore? Right? We didn't gave all this up. We don't care about this world. And the thing is, people think we crazy. You know, yeah, we might get a new shirt, you know, or some new shoes and shit. You know, but people think we care about this world, man. We doing shit like that to give us a little bit of peace because we hate this goddamn world. You know? But we still kings, Lord willing, man. We still like to look nice. We Israelites. But, man, at the end of the day, man, this world, it don't matter. It don't matter. But the water Yahweh Shema Shah for daily loading us with benefits, for taking after us, for putting a roof over our head, for putting clothes on our back and food on our table and shoes on our feet. You know, with the cars that we do have to be able to take care of us and get us to where we need to go. So we are thankful for it. But that's why he give it to us, because we don't care about it. So he blesses with it. So Tawadi Yahweh Shema Shah for looking after his men and his servants, and Lord willing we be at that number. But it says, and Yahweh Shah said unto them, verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration unto the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory. Ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. And everyone that hath forsaken houses, or brethren, or sisters, or father, or mother, or wife, or children, or lands, for my name's sake, shall receive 100-fold and shall inherit everlasting life. So we didn't gave up these things. We didn't gave up money. You know, we didn't gave up families, houses, family members. You know, for brothers who ain't got wives, I know a lot of us like, man, fuck having a woman, fuck having children. You just thugging it out at this point, man. And you don't even care. The thing is, we Israelites, of course we want those things. But it's like, man, you don't even care no more. It ain't worth the time. It ain't worth the energy. People don't even want to take from us. You realize in this world, man, I'm starting to realize more and more people just want to take. There's like all of America is like a succubus spirit. They just want to drain your energy. They want to drain your money, your finances. They want to drain everything out of you until you ain't got nothing left to give. You know what I'm saying? But brothers, accept the brothers, man. So the Lord said He gonna give us 100-fold. He gonna give us everlasting life, and we want everlasting life, man. We want to live forever. I was talking to Bahar about that, and he's like, man, we just want forever, bro. We getting tired of these limitations that Babylon offers. But that's why it makes us glorify Yahweh Shem Al Shah more and want to have Him more and His spirit rule the earth. You know, but many that are first shall be last, and the last shall be first. So, brothers, we at the bottom right now, but soon, hey, we're going to be at the top through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai. And Lord willing, we be those men. So, hey, I'm going to wrap it up with that. I pray, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I want to give all the praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachakodash. Double honors to the apostles and the